Hey, this is Mark Adams at James Lick High School, and we're going to talk about the LockDown browser. Now, if students are using their school-issued Chromebooks, this feature is already installed. So all they have to do is take the quiz. If they're using a personal device, there will be an option for them to download the app, and then they can use their personal device. And that includes iPads. And there are some instructions that they provide. They have the teacher quick guide, and then they have a guide for the students. But I've discovered that most of my students they click on the quiz and they take it. But it locks the browser down so that they can't access anything else on the internet unless you allow certain websites. Otherwise, it just locks down the entire internet, and they can't look for answers on the websites, and they can't use, like, say, ChatGTP to generate answers to questions. So it's a really effective feature. So how do you use it? Well, basically, you create a quiz. It can be a new quiz, it can be a classic quiz, it doesn't matter. And when you create that quiz, you can that's where you apply all the settings. If you want an access code, a time limit, et cetera, et cetera. So all the quiz creating functions are here. And so once you've created the quiz and published it, then you go down to the LockDown browser, and you're going to see a list of your quizzes. And you just find that quiz. Now, if you have a lot of quizzes and you can't find it on the page, Control F, and you can start locating your quizzes just by using the Control F. For the purposes of this video, I can just choose one at random. So I'm going to click on this one. Let's say I want to lock down this quiz. I don't want students looking up definitions of vocabulary words. So I'll click on Settings, and you just click on Require, LockDown Browser. And you do have some advanced settings, so we'll take a quick look at those. They do have some explanations here, which is very helpful. So you just put your cursor over the text, and a little box will pop up and explain what it does. The one that you're probably going to want to do if you have students using an iPad is click on Allow iPad, or allow students to take the exam with an iPad, and then they will be prompted to download the app onto their iPad, and then they can take the quiz, no problem. And if a student doesn't want to install this app on their iPad, then I just tell students you have to use your school-issued Chromebook. Everyone that downloads it is pretty basic. In fact, they don't even have to, they can just type in Respondus and they'll find it. Another thing, you can allow specific external web domains. So all you got to do is type in the address, and students could access this website, or put a comma there, and you can type in additional websites. So that would allow them to go to just very specific websites. And you can enable a calculator, and it's a scientific calculator, and there's a print function. And again, there's different reasons why you may or may not do that. Pretty much the only one I really click on is allow students to take the exam with the iPad, and if I want them to access a certain website, I will do that. And once you do this, you just go Save and Close. Now, one of the things that's been recommended by other teachers who are using the LockDown browser is give it a test run with, say, a practice quiz. And that way you can kind of troubleshoot. You're going to find some students have like really outdated Chromebooks, and it's not going to work. So perhaps they need to get a new Chromebook. Or some other issue might be coming up. They might not be logging in using their student account, for example. There could be a number of issues that arise. So you give like a small quiz or a practice quiz, you test out the system, make sure every student knows how to use it and can use it, and then you run with it. And it works really well. I'm finding this is going to be an answer to a lot of problems. I have a lot of students that are using ChatGTP to generate answers, and it's kind of frustrating because they have it within themselves to really answer the questions well, but it's the ChatGTP and some of these other AI text generating websites is just kind of an easy out, and a lot of students are doing it out of convenience, and it's just really frustrating. So being able to lock down the browser is really effective, and so that's pretty much all I can really say about it. It works really well. It's pretty seamless. There are a lot of there's the Getting Started resources. They have video tutorials. There's guides and supports. So there's a lot of resources just within that link. But it's a very effective tool, and if you're looking to lock down a quiz or lock down an exam, this is the tool to use.